AITAH for ruining my son's date by arguing with a girl's dad? I have a 16-year-old son who recently took a girl he likes from school to a holiday dance his school was throwing. I was the designated driver and I drove him to go pick up his date. When we arrived, I waited in the car to let him go pick his date up at the door. When he arrived at the door, the father opened it and my son stepped inside the house. I assumed it was to maybe take a couple photos for the dance. I noticed he'd been in there for longer than was expected, and after about 5 minutes my son came walking out with his date, and he looked very uncomfortable. They got in the car and I asked them if we were all set and his date said yes, sorry, my dad was just being dumb. I asked what being dumb meant as we were pulling out the driveway. My son then told me he was talking about what he'd do if he mistreated her and mentioned he has a shotgun on the wall for anyone who mistreats his daughter, and was asking him a whole bunch of inappropriate questions. Once they said this, I immediately turned the car around and went back to his date's house. I went up to the house and yelled at his father for even mentioning a gun when speaking to my son. We got into a good argument and he told his daughter to get in the house. We ended up leaving and my son was livid at me for ruining the dance for him. I told him that isn't the type of family you'd want to be connected to anyway, and if someone ever threatens or tries to intimidate him like that again, he needs to take it seriously. Well, my son is still very upset with me as the girl no longer speaks to him, and my wife also says I overreacted. I really don't think I was. I know the dad probably saw that tough guy act in the movies and wanted to act macho, but it was completely unacceptable to talk like that to a child. Am I the asshole, and how do I try to explain to my son I didn't mean to ruin his dance?